Look at you, you're a creative person and you want to make art. But the problem is you also want to make money while creating stuff you love. It's the dream scenario that every artist wants. Now, unfortunately, unless the things you're sharing are like really freaking good, they're just gonna get lost in the black abyss that is the oversaturated content caverns of social media land. Okay, well, that's a problem. So you decide to do some research and figure this out. Looks like in order to get views and grow and make money, you have to sell your soul. Now, who are you selling your soul to? Well, the almighty King Algorithm VI, aka algorithm. And now that the algorithm owns you, he now dictates the content you create, subsequently diluting that precious, pure art you were so naively ambitious in making when you first started. Your creativity has simply been dumbed down to content. And now you post in this rigid fashion and you kind of hate it. It's like these copy and paste versions of other people's content that you know have already hit the algorithm. And at the end of the day, you might be seeing a few more views and a little bit more growth, but you are definitely far from where you started. You no longer feel like an artist, and the motivation to create something is gone. That spark you once had to create is dwindling into full-blown burnout. So you give up, only to get inspired again in a few months and run through this entire cycle again. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This scene that I just described is a situation that I found myself in multiple freaking times. And it's depressing because you've spent, let's say, 40, 50 hours on a video. You've put your creative heart and soul into it. You've sacrificed a bunch of things. You forgot to feed your dogs and floss your teeth and buy food just to make this one piece of content, only to be super proud of it, share it with the world, and then it bombs. It gets like 4 views, and they're your friends that you don't have because you spend all your time making videos for YouTube. But in seeing how little traction your video got, your whole creative identity feels like it's just a hot pile of sweaty cabbage. And then your head starts to spin and you start to question all of it. Is this even worth it? Why am I spending so much time and money and resources on this? And maybe, just maybe, I just suck. So if you've been in this situation, I have some advice for you that after I've picked up the pieces from that last moment of creative despair, I've learned a few things along the way. I've been doing YouTube and social media full time since 2016. And one of the biggest things I've learned through all of that is I gotta go get a job if I stop making money. So yeah, I wanna be super creative and be an artist, but if I'm creating content that's not performing well, that means I can't do any of this. So let's say you're trying to make 4 YouTube videos a month. Try having like 3 of those videos be more algorithm friendly and don't put all the bells and whistles and additional artistry into those. Maybe incorporate some of it, but then have that 4th video really be the one where you can go all out on being creatively inspired. And so in this way, you can still be posting consistently without just pulling out your hair and forgetting to feed your dogs every time you go and create a piece of content. What's nice about this strategy too is that when you do hit that creative block, you can fall back on some of that algorithm friendly content. And if you just do a little bit of research within your niche, it's gonna be pretty easy to figure out what's gonna perform well or ideally perform well on the YouTube algorithm. Another thing you can do is create content that's not only going to be good for the algorithm, but also give that algorithm friendly content your own creative touch. Now take this video as a perfect example of that. Now on the practical level, I could have just made a very boring me talking to the camera kind of video with almost no creative effort. But I would have hated my life making it. Now, obviously, as you just watched, I spent a bunch of time creating that intro. I also wrote the music. So I was able to tick off both boxes here. Being creative, as well as the advice that I'm sharing with you will get pushed on the YouTube algorithm. And hey, maybe you'll even share this video with some of your friends and that would be freaking cool. Now, on the practical level, this strategy also makes a lot of sense. If you are getting more views and you are seeing more growth, that will more than likely mean you're making money. Your channel will get monetized, you can get that AdSense revenue, you'll have brands ideally reaching out to you, and then if you are also working another job, you can quit that job and do this full time. This one took me quite a bit of time to learn. But look, you're not that special. I'm not that special either. There's really no perfect science to all of this. Algorithms are constantly changing. What people want to see in their feed is constantly changing. And there are a ton of talented people and creators pumping out content into these algorithms every single second. Now, on one hand, don't be discouraged by that, but also realize that when you put something out there, it's going into a massive pool of other creative pieces of content that are all hitting algorithms or not. So look, when you drop your little piece of content into that big pool, it's just not that special. Now, you might be super proud of what you've created, and that's amazing. I always love to be proud of what I've created, but that doesn't mean the entire world is stopping to watch and admire what I've created. They're not. They're just scrolling on to the next. And look, I get that this idea of how creatively talented you are is subjective. It's all relative to whatever else is out there. But my point is, there's a lot out there. So what you should do is lower your expectations for how well you think any piece of content is going to do. And if it happens to perform well, great. But don't have your expectations to be like 1 million+ views every video that you post and you've got like 673 subscribers. Here's another lesson that took me some time to learn, and I'm still learning all these things, but everyone out there on internet land, on social media, is not gonna like you. But I promise you there are people that will. Ultimately, when it comes to getting people to buy into what you're sharing, what you're creating, it just takes time. You need to build a reputation and you need to build community, and these things do not happen overnight. One of the biggest achievements an artist can ever make is that of respect. Respect from other artists, respect from a fan base. Some of the most incredible artists from history, their work didn't even get noticed until after they've died. Now, I'm not saying go die and then let your content blow up. Please don't die, but just get some perspective here that this takes time. And if you focus on building that reputation, getting that respect, and building that community, this will really, really help you as an artist continue to put out and create content that you love. Okay, so this one's maybe a little bit counterintuitive, but I think it bears me saying it to you because maybe you have been grinding at this for a while. Maybe your dogs really are starving. You just keep forgetting to feed them because you're too busy trying to get that B-roll shot. By the way, that's not in any way saying that I don't forget to feed my dogs. But you've been working at this for a long ass time and you're exhausted and you have made life sacrifices. Well, maybe it's time to quit. And I'm not saying just quit being an artist or creative person altogether, but YouTube is a lot of work and oftentimes there's little to no reward from that work that you're putting in. So if you need to take a break from it, I took a break from YouTube last year for like 9 or 10 months. It was actually really, really refreshing. And I've been able to come back to it with a little bit better sense of what I know I want to make and the things I should be prioritizing. A lot of this advice that I'm sharing with you now is what I feel like I've gleaned from the last quite a few months. But look, if YouTube's not for you, go explore other mediums that you can still be creative. If you're wired like me, being creative is like, it's built into your DNA. If I wasn't making videos like this, I would be producing music way more. But I have to be creative, and it's okay if you quit this. It's okay. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with me. Obviously, hit the like button, subscribe. I appreciate you, and hope you have fun creating. Look, that's all that really matters, is that you do have fun. Sharing what you're creating should be like the afterthought. The moment of getting that spark of inspiration and creating something cool is like, I'm addicted to that feeling. I don't know about you, but man, it's the best.